Hey everyone, Kaye here on my homestead in Tennessee. Well, this is the biggest surprise of 2024 growing season, and that is, where is it? Orange tie. There's quite a story between me and orange tie, and I am so excited that I got it going here in Tennessee. I started growing orange tie way back in California. I think Esther, one of my first contacts when I joined this Facebook group, it was growing in California, something like that. And I believe I got the seeds from her, and I have been keeping them going ever since. Now, orange tie has about 100, I think it's 50, I'm going to look this up, 1,000 units on the Scoville scale. It's hotter than a jalapeno. Jalapeno is around, oh gosh, I have to look this up. Anyway, I have strained my back, so that's why I'm struggling. I haven't been in the garden for a week. I haven't been on the four-wheeler in a week. And part of that was because I went to see my mother, and then this back thing kicked in, so I've been busy. But when I was down there a week ago, the plants were beautiful. Now we've had another week of drought. We did put hay around the base, so I'm hoping. But the story is I couldn't get it going. You know, I would start the seeds, and now the seeds are, once again, like my loofah, the seeds are like 7 years old. And so I had trouble getting it started. And so this year, you know, by the time you start seeds in late January for peppers, and by the time you plant them out, it's like months. So by the time I got out to the garden and after the potting up, I think I thought I had only one or two this year. And I remember putting one on the side, the top end of the garden. But I wound up with, I think, 4. And so it's a miracle. This pepper has a different flavor from Serrano or Cayenne. It's beautiful. It's yellow, bright. Well, it's orange, bright orange. I'm going to save the seeds, as many as I can. Perhaps I'll be able to offer them for sale. And I'm going to, the ones I have already in the refrigerator, I should have done this days ago when I brought them in, but I'm going to slice them and put them in the freezer. Very thin slices, I think, work really well, because if you just have really thin slices on your eggs or something, it's not like this intense thing that's going to burn your tongue. And it's not that hot anyway. But I have a great story of my orange tie, so I'll put the link right up there. Please watch that. Yeah, I look a lot different. You'll have to, I have to admit. So let's go down to the garden and see what's left. As you can see, these 3 plants are the greenest. Well, my peppers, I've got a handful of peppers that all look pretty good, and it's probably because we put the hay around it. And this plant has at least, it looks like I've got at least 10 peppers to harvest and more green ones. So you have no idea, because last year I wound up with 1 plant. And as I recall in my LA garden, the orange tie, it took till October to reach full height, and then it made peppers. And these did not behave that way, because we're into mid-September, and it's already been putting out peppers for 6 weeks, you know, here and there. So and it didn't achieve that kind of height. But last year it did. Now last year I planted one plant on the right side of the, I think you can see it on the corner of the screen, just to the right of the arched trellis. And it got this tall. Yeah, it was October before there were any peppers on it. And then we got that first freeze, and I think I got 2 peppers off of that plant. And I'm not sure if that's what I planted this year, because I don't keep great notes, you know, and that's one of my big failings as a gardener. So we got that freeze, and there were a bunch of green ones on it, you know, 6 or 8, and they all just turned to mush. So I wasn't too hopeful, and I thought, well, let me just try to preserve this one plant, just in case, you know. And so I cut the stalks down to about like that, and I put a big mound of hay on it, but it didn't come back. So that's okay, because look, I have these now, and this is actually much better to put out the peppers, you know, before you put on another foot of height. And I guess it's just the pepper has modified, that's not a good word in gardening, that's not a good word. It has adapted to my garden, I guess. I didn't even remember having 4 plants, but I did, because I've got 3 right here. The one on the end down there is the strongest, and then the middle one is the weakest, and this one is like pretty strong too. So I had 1 more plant that I put over there, and we were doing the cleanup last Wednesday on part of the garden, and I thought, it's in the way, it's by itself, I need to clear this whole area. So we dug it up and I put it in a pot, and it is surviving on the driveway. A bit later in the video, we'll go back up, and actually you don't have to cut this. This is the coolest thing. I saw this on a YouTube short or Instagram. And the hot peppers, I haven't noticed it with the sweet peppers, which have a thicker little stem, but I've been gardening all these years and it never really hit me. But these hot peppers just come right off. If you bend them backwards, they just come right off. And all these years I was just cutting them. But isn't that a gorgeous pepper? It's smooth, but it's a little, you know, bumpy. It's not smooth. The surface is smooth, but you know, it's a little bit bumpy, a little bit green there, but that's okay. All right, we're gonna harvest all the ones that are ripe. The tomatoes are just toast. There's nothing left. I've got a few zinnias, and I've got a few little of those tiny little cherry tomatoes that were volunteers. I've got some cover crop. You know, a few things are still growing, but gosh, it has been so dry. As soon as I get these off, I'm going to set up the hose. There are a lot more. In fact, these are hanging heavy. There's probably 10 on this one branch right here. Now you'll see I've got support for all these plants because they're leggy and they want to fall over. But here's a nice handful, and so much more to come. So it's going to be cloudy all day, but no rain. If it rained for 1 hour, it would save me hours. I could be horizontal. I can't tell you how many times cutting peppers with the little clippers I have cut my finger. And just to have anything that harvests without using the blade is a blessing. Oh, okay. The leaves are just so limp. Well, we're gonna get them plumped up with some filtered city water. So that's about, not that many, but it's plenty for me. Okay, I'm gonna give each plant 20 minutes. Someone wrote and told me that the moringa doesn't need water, and I'm going, great. Maybe it won't die during this drought. My butternut squash is all dead over there. I am so disappointed. I had a whole row of plants. There must have been, oh gosh, I seeded the whole thing. All these plants came up, they looked so good, and I said, this year I am going to put them on the trellis because I saw online that you can control the squash bugs better if they're up off the ground. Okay, well, if they're up off the ground, they don't have the opportunity to go along at each joint and put down roots. And so I picked them all up, but then it was like, okay, this is what you get. It didn't keep producing. So I'm not even going to get 10, and most of them are tiny. So my winter squash has been a huge this year. But believe it or not, the one artichoke that overwintered is still alive. It hasn't had a drop of water. No, I take that back. We had a 5-minute shower, and I posted a short video a few days ago. I don't know if it's gonna do much more though, because here we are, mid-September. Okay, this is gonna take a while. I'm on plant number 2, and all the peppers need watering. Everything needs watering, and so I'm gonna set up my chair down here and drink my cacao and let the plants get watered. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you subscribe if you haven't already. I try to make big dreams and big goals realistic. I try to realize big dreams and big goals and do the best I can with that. And I hope that is of interest to you. If it is, I hope you subscribe if you haven't already. And please share my channel with a friend. I hope to inspire, educate, and entertain. One or the other, or all of the above. So let me know if I've done that in a comment below. Be sure and hit that like before you leave the video. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Just harvested 12 more loofah. Okay, here's the harvest for today. Got a really nice pepper harvest. These are the Cubanelles that my friend Jamie gave me, and this was definitely my most successful pepper. I got a lot of these stuffed in the freezer, at least 10 meals. And I'm telling you, when everything else, when all your slicers and all of your paste tomatoes and all it's all gone, you're happy to have these. You ignore your little tiny cherry tomatoes all summer when you're getting all the great big juicy tomatoes, but when all of those are gone, you're happy to have some fresh little cherry tomatoes. And there's my orange tie. Okay, look how my orange tie perked up after deep watering, and now the sun is out. They look like they could go on for months. Wow. What a special, special pepper. Not too hot, nice and spicy, beautiful to look at, productive. Okay, we are back up here, and I'm hoping I'm able to save my plants. First, we're going to take a taste test of just the pepper, and then I have a little piece of cheese to put out the fire. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to eat the rest of that. Now I'm just going to eat it together with the cheese. It's good. Crunchy. Got that sharp peppery thing in the back of your throat. You're gonna love this pepper. I mean, if you're a pepperhead and you you want to do ghost peppers, okay, my hat's off to you. I'm not into that. But a nice hot spicy pepper that you can handle. Eat the whole thing without your mouth going numb. This is the one for you. Mm. Mm. Raw cheddar cheese. You can't beat it.